Alright, so what's going on, everybody? You're watching JA News. Salute to you for tuning in. We got some bad news, unfortunately, to report for Nike, who have just recently held a meeting with analysts who have now downgraded the status of their stock from buy now down to neutral. Now, they're citing that Nike apparently was a little bit too ambitious on their expectations, and they don't see a visible turnaround for Nike within the next fiscal year. So that's Nike's problem to worry about, of course, but for us here as sneakerheads, this will also directly affect us, as in an attempt to get some fresh new product on store shelves, it looks like there may be a time coming up very soon where the Nike Dunk will no longer be available to purchase. So we're gonna get into it here shortly. We also got a special fit of the day, as finally somebody has stepped up to the plate. But first, we're gonna start with some quick updates. You're watching JA News. Let's jump right into it. Now, to begin, I wanna start with a tweet from AD Sneaks, who's a photographer slash teacher who's definitely gained a lot of notoriety here in the sneaker world as of recently. So he put, social media thrives on trends and the algorithm tends to reward conformity. Posts featuring the latest hype sneakers get more engagement, while unique personal choices often go unnoticed by the masses. This creates a cycle where people buy sneakers not because they truly want them, but they seek approval from others or want to feel valued. So that's deep right there. He said the sneaker game is not about that. It's about expressing your individuality by rocking what you love, discovering hidden gems, and styling your favorite sneakers how you want, not clout chasing, engagement farming, or trying to get on a seating list. This constant need for internet validation warps the original essence of sneaker culture. Instead of being passionate and about self-expression, it turns into a competition for likes and social status, which I felt like that tweet definitely hit hard. It deserved a like from me. And what do you guys think about this one, man? When it comes to the sneaker community, I would say it's definitely toxic as far as how this relates to me personally. While, as you guys see here, you guys know like the hottest, most hype releases definitely feed the algorithm and they bring the clicks in, but sometimes you kind of got to find a balance. So I feel like it's important to also showcase, sneakers that you're passionate about and shoes that are a little more under the radar sometimes. But as far as how it relates to everybody watching, let me ask you guys, man, are you one that just wears the most hype releases, or are you a sneakerhead who simply just buys what you like and just appreciates the sneaker game for what it is? That's just a little food for thought. And moving on, speaking of hype sneakers, we did have a huge release today in the Kobe Protro 6 is the All-Star 2.0. So this was a huge release. These joints are pretty much sold out absolutely everywhere. And I feel like this is one that really kicks off these All-Star weekend festivities, which all of the big brands have huge plans for special releases, early pairs dropping, a whole lot of excitement. So comment down below, man, if you guys were able to grab these. This is a huge W for Kobe fans. So comment down below on that one. Now, as far as something a little more under the radar, we did also see Nike drop the Air Zoom Spiridon. Now, as far as this release, this is a retro model which originally debuted back in '97, which Nike did bring back into circulation in like the early 2010s. It kind of fell out of circulation once again, and they brought them back at the end of last year with that Fragment collaboration, also dropping some OG colorways. So as far as this metallic silver white pair, I believe this is actually a new colorway of this classic model, which I feel like this is a nice take on that classic runner right here. So we'll give the Zoom Spiridon a little bit time to marinate, but I feel like this is definitely a solid pair, one that may go a little bit under the radar. Now, also from New Balance, we do see that they have dropped some new colorways of the 740. So once again, this is a similar playbook, just like Nike did. This is a model which originally dropped back in like the 2010s, but now they're dropping them here with an updated sole. So as far as the 740, it's kind of in that budget-friendly runner lifestyle category. I think with the debut colorways, which we saw drop last year, were kind of lackluster. A lot of those were women's exclusive drops, so I'm a much bigger fan of this more darker tone. I think these are a vibe, especially this lighter silver metallic pair. I think this is a nice sneaker right here. And noteworthy to mention, these only retail at $110, and this is a release which we're seeing dropping through some of New Balance's retail partners. So these are available through Finish Line, JD Sports. This is a sneaker which I feel like if somebody spotted this just casually walking through a mall, this is something that would catch their eye. So it looks like things are heating up for the New Balance 740. Now, In other news, this was a big one last night. It seems like Union, Jordan Brand, they're starting to build up the hype and anticipation for their next upcoming collaboration. It seems like they had some type of special activation, which I'm assuming this must have took place for the NBA All-Star Weekend festivities going on, where you see a whole bunch of different Union pairs, some samples as well. But as far as the big highlight of the night, that would have to be this never before seen pair of UNC Royal Unions, a mashup right here. If you guys are unfamiliar, all of these Union Jordan 1 collabs, they're kind of a mashup of various different OG Jordan 1 colorways. So you see picture behind it, you got the Chicago Shadow pair, which that's going to be the official pair dropping for retail. Now, originally, this sneaker, the UNC Royal, they were saying this was just a sample, but we also got reports saying that this could potentially also be a friends and family pair. So we'll have to wait on that one, but I would love to know. I had to ask, which one do you guys prefer? You guys rocking with the sample potential friends and family pair, or would you prefer the retail release, which we're going to see dropping coming up here very soon, probably towards the end of the month? For me, I mean, while I think both pairs are okay, I had to say, shout out to my boy Jalen. When he sent these over last night to me, I was thinking that immediately, I was like, yo, those go absolutely crazy. But the more I look at it, I'm kind of like, I think I might have to wait to see how people would style these, but just from like a subjective art point of view, I think they're a nice looking sneaker. But if I had to pick between the retail or this one, I think I might have to actually probably go with this pair right here. So drop your comments, let me know what y'all think about that one. And as far as the Union Jordan 1 hype, it looks like people are back on board, and there's going to be exciting releases coming up here very soon. So we're going to jump into our main story here. We got bad news surrounding Nike Dunk, a legendary release, one that people have been rocking for quite some time now. We got some bad news to report on those. But first, let's go ahead and jump into the fit of the day, which we've been doing this segment now for about a week or so. So far, only showcasing celebrity looks. I've been asking some of y'all to step up to the plate. All y'all got to do is just tag me on Instagram. Somebody finally stepped up to the plate. So let's go ahead and see what it's all about here. So salute to my man, Cal Bless Bags. As y'all see right here, starting off on the top, we got a good Hellstar sleeveless t-shirt. He paired that up with a pair of desert camo pants with the women's exclusive. I believe these are the WNBA Jordan 3s, which I would have to say that as far as that pair right there, that's definitely a good underrated release. Ever since I saw them, it's definitely been a release that I've admired from just like a visual standpoint. But you definitely get points for rocking an underrated sneaker like that. So I'm a fan of the accessories. You did a good job with that. I like the sleeveless t-shirt. As far as the pants and the t-shirt and the shoe mashup, can we do camo on camo like that? I mean, I feel like it's tough for a lot of people to pull off, but I think my man Kyle, he did a good job on that one. So you guys know what to do. Drop your feedback on today's fit of the day. Drop a little rating, 0 through 10. How did my dude Kyle Bless Bags doing? Shout out to him, guys, man. Make sure y'all go ahead and check him out over on the gram. And with that out the way, with those quick dates over with, let's go ahead and jump into our main story, which y'all see it right here. It looks like Nike CEO Elliot Hill, he recently had a little meeting with Citi, one of the big analysts, who have now reduced Nike's rating of their stock from buy down to neutral. Now, they're citing that after their meeting with Elliot Hill, they weren't really too confident in their plans of regrowth or restart for Nike over the next fiscal year. So let's go ahead and skim through the article, see what they're saying and what's the future of the Nike Dunk. Because, man, that's been a pair that people were going crazy for years ago. Over the last couple of years, it's kind of became a meme, somewhat fizzled out. You guys know how the story goes. So let's see what they're saying right here. Now, of course, they do cite that one of Nike's big problems, of course, is their relationship with their wholesale partners. Now, it also says that Nike indicated that it continues to work down inventories of its 3 key franchises. So that's going to be Air Jordans, Dunks, and the Air Force One further into the fiscal year of 2026, which it does expect will continue to weigh on their sales. So they expect to see declining sales with them, reducing the stock numbers on some of those key franchises. But Nike management has also indicated that the Air Jordan and Air Force One will still be large franchises, right? So it seems like they're maybe just scaling back on kind of like the stock numbers, but they're still going to be big key players in as far as releases that we see Nike and Jordan brand continue to release. But it does say here, as far as inventories managed lower, the Nike Dunks will not be a relevant part of that mix over time. And it says with continued pressure, new products are needed to fill, the store shelves. So from Nike moving forward, it looks like we may not see the Nike Dunk Low hitting store shelves as much as we did in the past, or maybe we could even see a visible future where the Nike Dunk is no longer available. This, I guess, is an attempt to kind of preserve the legacy of that model right here. Now, it does say that on a positive note, Nike does feel good about some innovation in their marketing. They say that the premium Pegasus, or the Pegasus Premium, continues to be really taking off, I guess, in Europe. I'm not really sure about over here in the States. Don't really see too many people wearing that shoe too often. And they are optimistic about the Vomero Classic, which is definitely a model you're spotting people rocking all the time. So it says Nike does have further pressure from smaller brands such as Hoka and Birkenstock, who have all showed significant momentum and looking to expand into products that will compete with Nike directly in some way. And Nike may have a hard time disrupting the momentum, making it difficult for them to gain back shelf space with their wholesale partners, which seems to be one of Nike's biggest plans coming up this year. So as far as the future of the Nike Dunk, man, this has been a model which I remember back in the day growing up, like people used to go crazy over Nike Dunks, like the SB specifically. They dropped through all the different skate shots, but it was more so for like the Dunk highs. We're talking about like when I was in high school, like over like 10 years plus ago. So people were going crazy for those. I felt like Nike Dunks and SBs kind of had like this big cult-like following, which was growing through the various communities like Nike Talk and everything like that. And then like in the 2020s, like 2018, I guess around that time, the Nike Dunk Low became extremely popular. The Panda Dunk, became infamous. It became so popular that it almost became a meme so much that it became like unpopular. And a shoe which you almost saw everybody rocking now seems to be replaced with other budget-friendly models, such as like different pairs from New Balance. Of course, you got to throw the Adidas Samba in there. And as far as sales for the Nike Dunk Low, those are continuing to plummet. So it seems like in an attempt to kind of preserve the legacy of that franchise, Nike is definitely going to scale back, and we may see a point in time where the Nike Dunk Low is no longer available. But of course, as you guys know, the cycle will always, continue to return, and we'll probably see this model, come back with a big surge at one point or another. But I don't think, as far as the Dunk Low, we're going to see it completely go away, but we may see it more so limited to, let's say, like just online or like special limited releases, the big SB collaborations, or more so limited to just skate shop releases. And you probably won't see, like, let's say if you walk into like a Foot Locker or Finish Line, seeing Nike Dunks taking up the shelf space. So we'll see what the future holds for this classic Nike franchise. But as the article stated, the Vomero, that's a model which Nike seems to be optimistic about. This is a model which a lot of people have gravitated towards, with the trend of the lifestyle runner being a big hit. So I think the Vomero is a good shoe. Nike, they've been handling this franchise the right way. The only criticism I would have for this model is I don't know why Nike hasn't dropped any cool collaborations. We see New Balance, anytime they got one of their big hitters or a model that they want to see, a little more notoriety brought towards, they usually spice things up with a big collaboration. Think of Joe Freshgoods, Action Bronson, something like that. So it would be cool to see if Nike did a big high-profile collaboration with the Vomero. I would definitely be excited to see what that would be about. So comment down below what Vomero Nike collaboration would y'all think would be a big hit. And do not say Travis Scott Vomero with a backwards Nike swoosh or something crazy like that. Now, they also did mention that in Europe, the Pegasus seems to be a big hit. I have yet to see anybody rocking these on feet, but I guess this is a more recent release, debuting recently. So we'll have to wait on that. But I guess in Europe, the Pegasus continues to be a pretty big hit. I know Air Maxes seem to be a lot more popular over there as well. So comment down below for all my people, watching from across the pond. So we'll see what the future holds for Nike. But as this article states here, it looks like the stock has been now downgraded And in an attempt to kind of turn things around, Nike could be scaling back heavily on one of their key franchises in the Nike Dunk Low. So let me know what y'all think about that one. Before we bounce though, I did want to get into today's poll of the day, where I simply asked you guys, do you wear New Balance? And this kind of goes back to AD Sneak's point where he mentioned, like, you know, just about chasing all the hype releases, where sometimes you kind of got to showcase some of the more under the radar stuff. Just appreciate the joints that you like to rock. So as far as do you wear New Balance, we had roughly over 1,000 votes, which it says the majority of you guys said that you got a couple pairs in the rotation, 53%, where coming in second place, 44% of y'all said you do not wear New Balance, where just 3% said that they only rock New Balance. So that's pretty surprising. You know, almost half of y'all do not wear New Balance, which I feel like a lot of y'all are capping, or maybe you're just holding back. I don't know, like I know a lot of people only wear, like, let's say Nike and Jordan brand, but if you haven't tried a pair of New Balance, which for years has been a staple in certain regions such as the DMV, places like that, I would definitely challenge you guys this year just to pick up a pair. I mean, them 740s, they go crazy, which just dropped. You know, just try them out. Your feet will definitely thank you for that one. So salute to everybody for participating in the poll of the day, which you guys can generally find here on my community tab, which they've just now renamed the post. So I'll catch y'all next time. That's it for JA News. I appreciate y'all. If you guys enjoyed today's show, smash the like button down below. I'll catch y'all next time. I'm out. Love.